Want to get New York Today by email? Here's the sign up.
It's Tuesday.
Weather, a chance of morning showers, then mostly cloudy, with a high in the upper 40s.
Alternate side parking, suspended today because of the coronavirus. Meters are in effect.
As a Navy hospital ship arrived in New York City yesterday to help relieve the city's overwhelmed hospitals, Governor Cuomo announced that more than 1,200 people infected with the coronavirus had died in New York State, up from 965 on Sunday morning.
Officials on the USNS Comfort, the 1,000-bed ship, will handle non-virus patients to free up beds at hospitals for those with the coronavirus.
The Comfort, which has 12 operating rooms, a medical laboratory and more than 1,100 medical personnel, docked at Pier 90 off West 50th Street in Manhattan. Mayor de Blasio said 750 of its beds would be put to use immediately.
Mr. Cuomo also reiterated that the worst of the coronavirus outbreak was yet to come, even as hundreds of people had died in the state in a 24-hour period.
New York State reported more than 7,000 new cases of the virus yesterday, bringing the total to over 67,000. More than half of the cases were in New York City.
Get the latest news and updates on the coronavirus in the New York region. Closing square bracket.
They can't afford to quarantine, so they brave the subway.
N.Y. hospitals face $400 million in cuts even as virus battle rages.
Rabbi dies 3 months after Hanukkah night attack.
What the Cuomo 2020 fantasy says about 2020 reality.
Want more news? Check out our full coverage.
The mini crossword, here is today's puzzle.
The owner of a Brooklyn speakeasy was arrested and charged with violating the mayor's social distancing order. N.Y.C. New York.
The demand for midwives and doulas for home births is skyrocketing in New York City, New York Post.
Service on the Staten Island ferry was reduced to once an hour because the coronavirus outbreak has caused a decline in ridership. NY Daily News.
Like other cultural institutions in the city, the 9/11 Memorial and Museum is temporarily closed during the coronavirus outbreak. Its outdoor reflecting pools are cordoned off from the public.
But one program at the museum has continued its daily tradition of laying out a white rose for each person killed in both the 2001 and 1993 terrorist attacks whose birthdays would have been celebrated that day.
Since 2013, museum employees have placed the flowers on the inscribed names of those memorialized at the fountain.
Museum officials have continued the Birthday Rose program during the closure because we felt it was core to our mission and would be a ray of light during this intensely difficult time, Kate Monahan Connolly, a museum spokeswoman, said.
Visitor services staff members typically placed the flowers daily. But with them no longer working, the task is now carried out by security and operations workers, who are classified as essential employees.
The flowers have long been donated by Floratech, a Tribeca florist, whose owner, Michael Collarone, shut the shop because of the statewide order to close non-essential businesses.
But Mr. Collarone, known widely as Mikey Flowers, said he was determined to keep supplying the roses so we could have some continuity and normality in the city right now. With his local distributor also shut, he has been ordering the flowers from a supplier in the Netherlands.
I want to show people that the world is not over, said Mr. Collarone, who was in Lower Manhattan during both World Trade Center attacks. We are going to get past this together.
It's Tuesday, carry on your traditions.
Dear Diary.
I was on Riverside Drive near the 79th Street Boat Basin on a beautiful fall morning when I noticed a jogger coming south on the sidewalk in front of the apartment buildings lining the east side of the street. Across from where I was standing, there was a building fronted by a little plaza bounded by a low wall.
The jogger turned in at the plaza and went immediately to the south end of the wall.
He took a handful of something I couldn't recognize at a distance from his pocket, and put it on top of the wall.
Reaching down, he pulled a brick from the wall and then used it to crack what I realized were the nuts he had placed on the top of the wall.
After cracking the nuts, he picked out the meats, ate them, returned the brick to its spot, brushed off the wall, dusted his hands and resumed his jog.
David Smith. New
York Today is published weekdays around 6 a.m. Sign up here to get it by email. You can also find it at nytoday.com.
We're experimenting with the format of New York Today. What would you like to see more, or less, of? Post a comment or email us, nytoday@nytimes.com.